they're listening and they're onto something here.
Okay.
So recently on Monday Night Raw, it seemed that WWE has simplified the Kevin Owens character. I don't know if you saw
I did.
but it seems like Kevin Owens now just wants to fucking fight.
Yeah.
Like that is the Kevin Owens character. Just don't talk, let's fight, which I love, right? You simplify down a character who had too much going on, right? There was too much of this like, I'm mad at Sammy, I'm mad at the bloodline. That's cool, that's great. And if you follow wrestling every week, super hardcore, you can stay with the nuances of the story. But if you don't, and you just turn it on and you see this guy who goes, I don't want to talk, I want to fight.
Yeah.
It works. Like that character works. So do you believe that the WWE would benefit from taking half of the roster and just dumbing down their characters and simplifying the gimmicks?
Yeah, because sometimes I don't even understand what they're trying to do with certain things. Like either I'm just like dumb or it's just overcomplicated and confusing.
Wrestling's supposed to be simple. Whoever told all these creative people in wrestling, and the problem is they're getting them from Marvel movies and shit like that, but whoever told them that wrestling fans want these big, elaborate, intricate story, wrestling's supposed to be simple. There's a good, there's an evil, and you could create some characters around that, and that's all we want. Hey, this guy likes to fight, he'll fight, right? How about Nikki Cross? This character who is set up to be the crazy person and is hardly ever crazy.
Right. I thought I was like just like making that up in my head.
Or you have Austin Theory, who still is a douchebag, but we've just taken away all the
Gimmick.
things that just screamed douchebag. I mean, he still does a lot of the stuff that he did, but it's like a lot of times when you're creating a character for podcast, for TV, for radio, the first thing you're taught is find your audience, create your persona, and then fucking crank that thing up to 11, right? And it feels like with WWE, they go, oh, Theory's at 11, we got to turn him down to 4. He's annoying people. But he's annoying people in the right way. He's a bad guy. That's what he's supposed to do, right? KO, a guy who wants to fight, let's just have him want to fight all the time. That's going to get over with the crowd. I said a missed opportunity in WWE was Baron Corbin when Corbin went from bum-ass Corbin to happy Corbin. And the story was he won big in Vegas. He was rich now. He's a wrestling god. JBL was his manager. The play with Corbin was to take that gimmick. Corbin should have paid people to lose.
That would have been kind of cool.
So it should have been, hey, Corbin's about to fight so-and-so. Here's money. Go out there. They fall down on their back. He pins them. He wins.
He's rich now.
Exactly. And it should have been that Corbin spent so much money that he got above where he could pay people, finally runs out of money. Now he can't win wrestling matches. There's a story arc. It's simplified. It's stupid, but it works because...
I like it.
Well, but it works because other than Corbin being bum-ass Corbin, going to Vegas, winning money, what did that matter? What did that matter in the evolution of Baron Corbin? Nothing. Having money meant nothing. Unless you find an alternative reason for story, it doesn't make sense. So, I mean, I said a long time ago, Corbin and JBL should have been making backroom deals for Corbin to win a title.
That's true. You did tell me that. I remember that.
Karrion Kross, I told you, should be a hitman. He should it should look like Drew McIntyre's about to get a chance to fight against Roman Reigns. Boom, lights go off. There's Karrion Kross. Damn. He ruins the moment. That then starts a story with Drew McIntyre, right? That's simple booking. Riddle, even someone like Riddle should be leaning into lean super heavy into the pothead.
Which he did for a while, and then I feel like
but they fall off, right?
Back.
So when he was doing the bongos, people love that shit. And then it's like they go, that's too silly. But some guys might have to be silly.
That is honestly like when they did the whole RK Bro thing, and then like Randy wasn't there anymore. I kind of didn't like him as much, but then he started getting the bongos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And then I kind of was like,
but you could even lean into the MMA aspects of Riddle.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to do the weed stuff and the bro stuff, you could lean heavily into this, like, Riddle wants to fight more like a UFC guy and he wants to tap people out. But there's these characters become kind of ambiguous. What makes Riddle? He says, bro, he kicks off his flip-flops. Let's lay into that. Let's dumb it down even. Let's simplify it even more. And it'll work. I feel like, look at Mustafa Ali, someone who was absolutely boring. And I don't know if they did this by design or if Mustafa just finally got so tired. But this dumbed down character of like Captain Positivity, it's made him a little bit likable. He's funny.
It always reminds me a little bit of Believe.
I agree.
Bo Dallas.
I agree.
That's what it reminded me of.
I agree. How about Chad Gable?
I don't understand.
Okay, but let's talk about. There was a minute, and you've said this when they were doing the academic games, and he was
loved him.
The thank you and the
I mean, how many times did we just like sit there and talk to each other and be like, thank you?
How funny he was, and how dumb down that gimmick was. What was Chad Gable's gimmick? He was a fucking smart guy. He was an Olympian and a smart guy and a scholar, and it worked because Otis was his big dumb guy. Mm-hmm. It's almost like they forget what the gimmick is, and then the Alpha Academy just became generic tag team. Tag team for people to beat. But there was a moment in time where people were losing their shit for Chad Gable.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand why they can't simplify that tag team and go simple, fun,
he was
works.
Shorty G.
Shorty G, yeah.
And I didn't like him then at all.
No, but he was trying to find his character then. I get it. He was going through iterations.
But when he became Chad Gable, I was like, I like him.
A whole new person. He became a whole new person.
Yeah.
Same with LA Knight though, right? Mm-hmm. LA Knight has, one of the reasons people gravitate to LA Knight, he has a clear gimmick. He talks in the third person, even if it feels like a combination of The Rock, Stone Cold, certain people that we remember from our past. It's at least a flushed out enough character that LA Knight feels separate from every other person on the roster, right? You go like Riddick Moss, Austin Theory. I mean, you can just, I don't mean like to make it racial, but like there's just a list of generic fucking white guys on the roster that all kind of look alike and all kind of wrestle alike. And maybe they have different music and a different name, but you really can't, like in the Battle Royal, you can't, nothing makes them special. Like when you had Kane and The Undertaker, you knew there was something different in the ring when those guys got in the ring, right? But go down the roster if you're WWE. Just grab a roster sheet and go, this guy's struggling, simplify. This girl's struggling, simplify. Simplify Nikki Cross, Carmella. Carmella's the best when she was wearing the mask, when it's the don't touch my face. That's when Carmella's the mask. When you start trying to make us believe that Carmella is just credibly going to beat up Rhea Ripley, it doesn't work anymore. It's the same for like Dana Brooke. Simplify her character. Natalya, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but at least she tried to put on a beret for a hot minute.
Oh, I
right?
hated the beret.
But you got to simplify those characters, and I think it can work. But what you can't do is you can't have guys like the Viking Raiders who have a gimmick. They're Vikings, and Vikings are supposed to be real badass, and then one week they get beat up by the guys that are unicorns.
Yeah.
That doesn't, like, you got to protect the gimmick longer than that.
So, I have a random question. What about entrances? Were entrances like a spectacle?
Yes, 100%. They now have a big video wall, and that's what they rely on.
Uh-huh.
Who has the best entrance right now? Karrion Kross?
Yeah,
because it's theatrical. I mean, and by best, I mean
black and white. Because like even when I watch on TV, what I'm really looking for is like the things that pop up, like the Roman Reigns and stuff like that.
There's no Undertaker, right?
No.
Bray Wyatt's is a spectacle.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's fucking gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, there's just it's like. Who? Seth Rollins? But Seth Rollins made his what it is
because of his song and
because of the dancing and stuff. He elevated his entrance. It's not thanks to like theatrics or pyro.
But, like, didn't people just like come up through the floor? And stuff like that?
Gangrel, Edge, and but they don't have a stage is one thing for shit like that, right? Now they come out on a flat floor. They used to be elevated. Like Rey Mysterio used to fucking shoot up through the ground.
Damn.
He'd fucking fly up, land, and booyaka.
They should have somebody come down like on
throw his hand over
zip
there,
line.
Fucking Rey Mysterio throws hand over there, fireworks come up, he throws hand over there.
Does that really happen?
Yes, Rey Mysterio's entrance used to be so badass.
I missed out on so much.
You did. Like they've dumbed down. It feels like it wants to be UFC. They want it to feel like a real fight. Like, oh, this is just walkout music. But the problem is, people enjoy the spectacle. Even the Viking Raiders for a while, if you remember, started having where the lights would go off and it would go red and go like, and now what? They're just 90% of the time they're just fucking come out of commercial and the Vikings are there.